Good morning! Teacher Miriam here, your facilitator today in Electrical Installation and Maintenance 7. How are you holding up with your modules? Since you are listening to me today, it means that you are doing your best to learn. We're nearly done with this school year, so keep holding on. You're doing a great job. Today, we'll be talking about carrying out measurement and calculation. Let me ask you, what are the terms that you use in the community when you measure? Do you use the same terms when measuring height, distance, and weight? In our lesson today, we will talk about the system of measurement and we'll do some calculations by converting units of measurement. So after this lesson, you are then expected to be able to demonstrate understanding of the English and metric system of measurement and converting units of measurement, carry out measurement and calculation, and realize the relevance of converting units of measurement in real life. But before we start, may I request that you get your pen, your notebook, and your second module in EIM, which is entitled Performing Mensuration and Calculation. So, before we start with the discussion, let's determine how much you know about system of measurement and carrying out measurement and calculations. Please open your modules to page 7.
Are you on page 7 already? If you are, I want you to look at the bottom part of that page. You'll be able to see what do you already know, pretest LO2, and the first part of your pretest is on that part. Now, here are the units of measurement that are commonly used and is already in the part of your pretest. Your first activity is to write their unit abbreviation as you know it on the blanks provided for in your module. You can pause this video for a while you answer, and then you can play it again so that we can continue with the lesson. Now let's check. What are the abbreviation of those units of measurement? Centimeter is cm, meter is m, decimeter is tm, yard is yt, and feet is ft. How many do you think you got right? I hope you got 3 and above. If not, that's alright. We can learn this as we move on with this lesson. Now let's turn your modules to page 8 and we'll do the second part of what do you already know. Here's what you're going to do. You write the equivalent value of the given unit. You have the given column there and we have the equivalent value column. So for number 6, you're going to write the equivalent value of 1 centimeter to millimeters. You write your answer on the space provided. Do this with numbers 6 through 10. You can pause this video for a while, and then if you're ready with the answers, you can play it again so that we continue with this lesson. Let's see how many checks you got. 1 centimeter is equivalent to 10 millimeters. 1 yard is 36 inches. 1 decimeter is 10 centimeters. 100 millimeters is equivalent to 10 centimeters, and 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. What's your score? Were you able to get at least 3 checks or more? If you were able to, congratulations. If not, no worries. We'll learn more about abbreviations and conversion as we move on with this lesson.
Before we move to what do you need to know as the discussion part of your module, I have a question in relation to measurement. Do you have a system of measurement in your community? There are different systems of measurement being used from community to another. Do you know some? During harvest time, for example, we count the number of bundles of rice we carry from the field to the granary. Just like the English language, we have in your community terms for your measurement. In Butuagan, for example,
1 bundle of rice is called sinpangat. 5 bundles is called sin-eating. 25 bundles, or that is 5 eating, is called 1 gutad or kutad. And 50 bundles, or that is 10 eating, again eating is 5 bundles of rice, is called sin-uyon or 1 uyon. Sin there represents 1. Now let's try to summarize what we just had for the units of measurement and conversion in Butuagan when it comes to rice. 5 bundles of rice is called sin-eating or 1 eating. 5 eating is 1 gutad or kutad. 10 eating is sin-uyon. Now we have an additional. 10 uyon is called sin-upo. So you see, even in our communities, we have our own units of measurement and conversions of those measurements.
we have, however, 2 systems of measurement being used internationally as standard: the English and the metric systems of measurement. What are these? We have the definitions on page 8 of your module.
The English system provides the creative way on how people can measure by themselves. For example, people measure shorter distance on the ground with their feet. They measure long distances by their palms, which is equal to a yard. Other examples of these units of measurement that are used in the English system are foot, yard, inch, and mile or miles. Now the metric system, on the other hand, is a decimalized system of measurement. It exists in several variations with different choices of base units. Metric units are widely used around the world for personal, commercial, and scientific purposes. Examples of these are millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, and meter. Now if you notice, the base units for these is meter.
Our local system of measurement has conversions of unit. Let's look at an example by going back to the terms that I presented earlier.
Look at the table here. If 5 bundles of rice is called sin-eating, and 10 eating of rice is called sin-upo, how many eating are there in 3 upo? You can pause this video for the thrill of it and answer first. Then you can play it again for the answer. 3 upo is equal to 100 eating. Did you get that right? That's up to you to already figure out how I came up to that answer.
What we just did is called conversion of units. We can also convert units in the English and the metric system of measurement. How do we do it? Please open your module to page 9 and we'll follow the steps there.
First of all, we have to determine the units to be converted. Look at the first example in your module. 24 inches is equivalent to X centimeters. So we are to look for the value of 24 inches to centimeters. So we're going to convert that. First, let's write the given units. That's 24 inches is equivalent to X, or is equal to X. The letter X here means that we don't know the value of 24 inches in centimeters. So we represent the value of centimeters to the letter X. Now the next thing to do is to look for the equivalent value of 1 inch to centimeters. And then we write it beside the first equation or below it. And since the standard value of 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, we then write it as 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Now the next thing to do is we convert these two equations to ratio so that it looks like this. We put them side by side after converting them into ratio. How do we convert it to ratio? We just change the equal sign to colons so that our equation now becomes 24 inches is to x is equal to 1 inch is to 2.54 centimeters. Now we move to step 2. I hope you're looking at your module. We are in step 2 now. The next thing to do is to pair up the inner numbers. Here are the inner numbers or the inner values. Those are the values beside the equal sign. And the outer number so that it looks like what's in your module. Now our equation, after we pair them up, becomes like this. 1 inch times x is equal to 24 inches times 2.54 centimeters. Now we multiply. 1 inch times x becomes or is equal to 1x inch. How did that happen, you might ask me? In the rules in math, when you multiply a number and a letter, which is called variable, we just put them side by side. Alright, so now 24 inches times 2.54 centimeters is equivalent to 60.96 inches centimeters. We cannot multiply different units of measurement, so we just put them side by side as well. Then, after multiplying both sides of the equation, do not forget to always carry the unit of measurement so that you won't be confused as to what to use at the end of the solution. And now, since we are looking for the value of x, we should remove everything that is attached to it. What are the things or values that are attached to our x in this equation? That's the number 1 and the unit inches. So we should remove everything of those. So how do we do that? How do we do that? How do we remove the pairs or what is attached with x? We do this by dividing the x side of the equation with anything that is attached to it. And we said earlier that what are attached to it are the numbers 1 and inches. So we divide 1x inches divided by 1 inch. So that we won't get hard up, we just need to cancel the similar values. And then we divide 1x by 1. It becomes now x. Now, as a rule in mathematics, anything we do on one side of the equation should be done on the other side of the equation as well. Thus, we also divide 60.96 inches centimeters with 1 inch. Before dividing though, so that it becomes easier, we cancel the similar values in the denominators and the numerators first. Now what's going to be left is 60.96 centimeters over 1. So we divide. We can now divide to get the final value of x. And that is x is equal now to 60.96 centimeters, since 60.96 divided by 1 is 60.96 as well. The value then of 24 inches in centimeters is 60.96 centimeters. I hope you were able to follow the steps that I presented. Now we have another example in your module on page 10, which you can study on your own. You can pause this video for a while, then play it again after you're done exploring the second example. Now let's open your module to how much have you learned on page 11.
The first part of the activity, which is named "Can you identify them?" is a drill on units of measurement of the English and the metric system.
What you are going to do is to write the letters ES on the blank before the number if the unit on that number belongs to the English system of measurement. But if it belongs to the metric system, you write the letters MS. And remember, write your answer on the space before the number. There, we have spaces provided before each number. You pause this video for a while and then you answer. You can play it again for the continuation of our lesson. Alright, now let's see. How many do you think you will get right? Yard, inch, mile, and foot, which is 1, 2, 3, and 6, belong to the English system of measurement. The rest belong to the metric system of measurement. And if you notice, 4, 5, 7 through 10 has meter as the base unit. Alright. If you did not get 5 and above, that's alright, for as long as you now can determine the difference of the English from the metric system of measurement.
The second part is a little bit challenging. We have 4 items for you to convert. I'll walk you through in the first item, then you'll be on your own in numbers 2 to 4. Shall we start? The given there is 30 centimeters, which we will be converting to inches. What is our first step again? Determine the equivalent of centimeters to inches. 1 centimeter is equal to 0.393701. Let's write it down below the given in number 1 so that we have a reference. Then, we convert the equations to ratio and write them side by side so that it looks like this.
Alright, let's move those values up and then we multiply the inner values and the outer values. How do we do this? We rewrite the equation so that the inner values will be on one side of the equation and the outer values will be on the other side of the equation like this. Now, we multiply both sides of the equation. 1 centimeter times x is equal to 1x centimeter. And 30 centimeters times 0.393701 inch is equal to 11.81103 centimeters inches. After that, we have to retain x. How do we do that again? We divide the x side of the equation with whatever is paired with x, and that is 1 and centimeter. And then we cancel similar units before dividing so that it gets easier. And then we divide 1 by 1, or 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1x. And 1x is similar to x. And then, again, whatever you do on one side of the equation, you have to do it on the other side as well. So we divide 11.81103 centimeters inches by 1 centimeter. And then we cancel similar units from the numerator and the denominator so that we have 11.81103 inches over 1 to be left. Now we divide so that x is equal to 11.81103 inches as a result of dividing 11.81103 inches divided by 1. What does x is equal to 11.81103 inches mean? It means now that the value of 30 centimeters in inches is 11.81103 inches. Did you get that now? I hope you are able now to solve on your own.
Congratulations! You did a great job! Now, I'll be leaving you on your own. Solve numbers 2 to 4. Here are the equivalents of given numbers 2 to 4. Please write them down for your reference. I hope I was able to help you in understanding this module. Please accomplish all the activities we weren't able to do together. You can do it. God bless and see you around.